So can you imagine a girl's most important day of her life, and if her dress comes out ruined, the kind of effect that will have on her? Well, this is something that this dress, a very expensive and pretty dress, has come made, but the sewing was absolutely lousy on it, and without having those amendments, I tell you, even if it was very beautiful, to have it looking like, you know, a sack on you wouldn't do it any justice. So it came in, she was quite upset, and she came in and she said, "Auntie, I need you to fix this because I can't wear it as it is." The main problem with the sewing of this dress, I will go on to show you the rest of the dress in a bit, but I'm just gonna give you what we did with this, and how we went on to adjust it and to fix it so that the girl who is meant to fit does fit. So the actual fitting on this was done 12 inches from the top of the shoulder. Now the 12 inch from the top of the shoulder is no way a measurement for a waist length. On older ladies, generally the waist level gets a little bit high, becomes a little bit higher, but on young girls like this young girl who's getting married, the waist length at 12 inches was just too high. It was actually on the bust level. So what I did was, I've actually bought it, I've not bought it down to which it actually should have been 16 inches. I haven't gone the full 16 inches. I've still had to go slightly bit less, about 15 and a half, which is about half an inch, you know, which isn't really major. But brought the waist length down and then opened it up on the bust. Before, we had the waist and the bust exactly the same, and it actually did no justice for her. Secondly, it had a major problem where the arm attachment was so out of the seam that you could actually see a space between the arm and the seaming allowance, and then the arm on the bicep was just too wide and it was hanging. So what I've done is I've taken it apart from the shoulders, I've opened up the side seams and I've extended it, opened it up to as much as it go out. It's left a little bit of empty space underneath the armpit, which is actually good because it won't irritate her. It's a good job that there's no dabka work on between the armhole, but opening it up to the fullest of the bust will give her more shape, and it look more shapely now, hopefully, on the waist, because it's brought the waistline in more in line with where the actual waist should be. It was a 32-inch waist, so alhamdulillah, and then a 40-inch on the bust, which is going to give her a real good fitting. I fitted it out on the biceps, and alhamdulillah, it's looking a lot better than what we started off with. Now on, thank you, a bit of vegan dal. What I've done on the sleeve is,
no, leave it.
I've taken it in and I've done a double seam. If you watch the previous video, I was mentioning that if this dabka work touches the bare skin, it's murder. And I would hate to imagine the bride sitting there all day and this just scratching her arms out. So what I've did is, I've done the initial seam, I've taken away like a 1/4 of an inch away from the inside of the seam, and then I've seamed it again, whereby I've trapped
It stinks in here.
I've trapped all the dabka work inside of the seam, which will stop the irritation. And what are you doing? Now you're being silly. Right, so hopefully that will stop the itching. There's no, you know, like I've taken off all the beads from the edges off so that it doesn't irritate her. It's a trailed dress, which is a full trail at the back. This is actually the back of the dress, so it's got all full work on the back as well. Not as heavy as the front, that is actually the back of the dress, but it's all work. I'm not really gonna it's a shame to actually
Yeah, that's it.
mess around with it too much, so I'm going to try and avoid. That's the putty that goes, no, take it away from here before it goes on the clothes. That's the putty that goes on the side of the
Into your baby mouth. Eat it.
back trail, and it's quite a long trail, and mashallah, she's a very pretty girl, and I think she's going to look absolutely gorgeous in this. The front portion is obviously slightly shorter, the back is full. The work on this is absolutely exquisite. It's like a cut work net where it's been taken out, lots of pearls, lots of stones. It's very heavy, very full, and I assume that the dupatta will be equally
But you cannot.
so it's a walima
hold
outfit, and it's a shame that I haven't got the bride to model it for you. Anyway, I'm sure there's lots of these fancy dresses floating about. They are quite costly. Asian wedding outfits. Behave! Asian wedding outfits are an extravaganza, I tell you. They're a fashion show on their own, and they are quite costly. Some of these dresses go into thousands and thousands of pounds. 3,500, 4,000, 4,500 is like an average price for these garments. I would imagine this is made in Pakistan. I would imagine to have cost somewhere in the region of maybe 1,400-1,500 pounds. The work on this is more of not as much stonework as it is the small katdana and also the kora and so on. So the very heavy stonework that you see often on the suits, they actually use a lot of original stones, and they are far more expensive than this. This is more of a gold effect, so it will be around about maybe
Ready or not? Here I come.
150,000 rupees, which is probably, my estimate would be that it would be around about 12 to 1,500 pounds in English money, and that's generally the price of these outfits. Anyway, I hope you take away some guidance from these outfits. Whether you want inspiration and you're planning a wedding of family wedding of your own, then my advice would be to always think very carefully and about who is tailoring your garment, because you can have the most expensive of garments, but if it's not tailored right, then you are looking at serious problems. So inshallah, I shall now see you with the garments that I'm making for a wedding, which is a series of 5 suits, which I will be hopefully sharing with you after the 16th, because I don't want to actually share them before the ladies have actually worn them. So their wedding's on the 16th. I will share all those outfits with you after the 16th. There's going to be a series of 7 different outfits, which I'm hoping I've completed 2, so inshallah I will be completing the next few over the next coming days and sharing those with you. Anyway, take care. I hope to see you again soon, and have a wonderful weekend.